Thank you for tuning in and be sure to comment and subscribe. Hello, welcome to my channel today, and I hope you're having a great 2021 so far. My name is Gina Chumesi, Psych APRN. This is the first time tuning in my channel. I say thank you so much. If you're a returning listener, also thank you. I am a psychiatric APRN and I make mental health videos and I post monthly. My video is about mental health, self-development, self-improvement as well. Um, Typically, it used to focus on minority women, but today's video is across for everyone to be able to benefit from. So today I'm going to talk about ADHD in adults. Usually ADHD is diagnosed in children, is coupled with trouble paying attention and really frequent impulsive behavior. Um, it used to be called ADD, but now the name has since really evolved to be more focused on ADHD, according to the DSM-5, which is the manual that we usually use to diagnose a lot of disorders when it comes to mental health. So I'll go right to it. So some of the symptoms to look for as an adult, if you feel at all or question yourself at all that you might struggle with ADHD, whether mild, moderate, or severe, typically it just depends on how bad it's impacting your life. So usually people have like increased impulsive behaviors. As an adult, impulsive behavior can be, like shopping or just making decisions without really taking a minute or, seeking a second opinion and just really come to mind and just jump to it. A decision that's very impulsive that can impact your life or somebody else's life in a negative way. Also, one of the other symptoms is increased irritability. You notice that you get irritated really easily. Inability to tolerate frustration, especially like in a work setting or family. Every little thing tends to get and crawl under your skin really easily, and you blow up. And just so you also realize is that some of the symptoms can really co-occur, like in depression as well. Some of the symptoms can be there, but I'll get to it because sometimes untreated ADHD can impact different moods. So we'll get to that. So continuing from that inability to tolerate frustration, it's that inability to also plan for future. It's hard to think about the now. Um, uh, to try to consider planning future for the future, like in a year, 2 or 5 years. It's hard when people have ADHD to be future minded. Another thing is you always have this jumble mumble in your head all the time. You seem like you're in your head all the time. You have a lot of things going on in your head. And this jumble in your head thing seem to impact your relationships at home and at work. And then so because you're not able to get yourself together enough to plan things and think through things and take a minute, and you're flying off the handle half the time. It's like you're constantly quenching fires. It leads to a lot of underperformance at work. So you're constantly under review or constantly afraid to get fired. which can then lead to self-esteem issues and also lead to depression and anxiety. This all also, if after a while, and if it's not treated, it can use it. A lot of people who struggle with ADHD have the tendency to use substances a lot, whether it's alcohol, smoking, and marijuana, any other drugs, just to cope, to just be able to feel a sense of ease. But it's really a negative coping scale. And then another thing to really consider is that many people with ADHD have a higher likelihood of suicide, because they just start to feel worthless and hopeless. And then that can then start leading to negative thoughts and suicidal, and like, why am I here? Um, Also, one of the big telltales, like poor motivation to start up the day, or start things. So you're not, because you're not able to make goals, and you're really kind of feeling like all over the place. It's hard to really feel motivated or keep that motivation going long enough to make the goals and make those goals come to reality. So how do we treat ADHD in adults, especially? As an adult, I think we can have the ability to cope and treat ADHD by using different strategies, such as really working at making a plan. So planning by really making it that you have shorter plans or goals, and write it out. So shorter goals for the day, for the week, for the month, for the year. So you make those plans and block times, like 30 minutes time frames, that you're gonna accomplish those goals, and make sure you're chipping at those goals slowly, and try to see if you can put in like a 5 minutes break between each 30 minutes goal that you write down, so you feel more productive. After 30 minutes, take 5 minutes break, and maybe do something that you enjoy. Watch like a little TV show if you're working from home. If you're in the office, do something that you look forward to, enjoy. Listen to a little music or something, or go for a walk. Another thing in talking about walk is working out. When you work out a lot, it brings out all the good chemicals in your brain, dopamine, all those epinephrine. So it makes you feel good, and you're able to be a little more productive. So working out is really important. Sleep is very key, getting a good 6 to 8 hours sleep. So really incorporating a good sleep hygiene will be helpful. Setting a routine in the morning. I had a video where I talked about my routine, getting up when the alarm goes off, and having certain routines in the morning to get you going, to give you that push to get going. Another thing, which for myself I'm working on and really continue to work on, is meditation. Meditation can be a little tricky, but when you start to do it and do it over time, it becomes part of you. So there are a lot of apps, like Calm is a really good app that you can use to meditate. Because sometimes as you meditate, your mind can start to race and divert by really trying to focus on your breathing. But meditation is really helpful to help you stay on task. Huge, stay on task. I personally love playing music. So when I take my 5 minutes break, sometimes some of the strategies we can all, whether you have ADHD or not, whether you suspect you have it or not, we can all benefit. But I just routinely love having music on the background when I'm working. I try to remember to do it. It doesn't have to be music where you hear words or try to focus on words. Just like a beat, like a really cool beat on the background, just to keep you, perked up through the day, to keep you going. Another thing is try to, make yourself look good, because when you look good, your head looks good, you have a little makeup on or whatever, you have a cute outfit, it makes you feel good overall for the day. So for me, when I look cute, when I look good, I feel like I'm more productive. and have my music going on the background. Another thing also is to have, um, just really make sure taking those 5 minutes breaks between work will be helpful. So those are some of my, now in when all these things fail, medications become helpful. So non-stimulant versus stimulants are used to treat ADHD, and they are very helpful. And on top of medication, you can also still use some of the strategies to help you cope on a day-to-day, so you're not feeling like you need more and more medications, because sometimes you can build tolerance to some of these medications. So some of the medication can be Strattera, non-stimulants, Strattera, clonidine, guanfacine, things like that. And then, the big guns of ADHD management in terms of medication can be like Adderall, Focalin, um, Ritalin. Um, uh, so those are the stimulants, the amphetamines, and all that stuff. So you have to be very careful, because a lot of those meds come with a lot of side effects and concern for addiction and dependency. But I highly recommend using some of those other coping skills first before trying to consider medications if they fail. But there's no reason to be ashamed or feel any type of way if medication is the way to go, and that seems to be helpful. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Put in your comment if you have any other ideas that you'll be using that's been helpful for managing your attention through the day, or any other suggestions for medications that has been helpful. I would love to hear it. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you later. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to comment and subscribe.